first time we came here. Oh, Paimon remembers! Nahita's consciousness had been trapped by the doctor, but we followed the clues she left behind to help her. So much time has already passed since then, and it seems Sumeru's changing for the better now that Nahita's in charge, right? Paimon just hopes this peace will last a long time, and then Nahita won't have any more new problems to deal with. Yeah, guess you're right. Come to think of it, maybe it's all because of you. Maybe you're just a magnet for trouble. Huh? Me? Before Paimon ran into you, Paimon never ran into any trouble. At most, when she was super tired, Paimon got caught in some strange whirlpool and sucked out into sea. And even then, you fished Paimon out! Anyway, for Nahita's sake, maybe we should think about heading to our next destination for now.
Ah, look who it is. Running into you in a place like this? I can see you two still love wandering around.
Oh, it's Dia! Since when are we just wandering around? We're usually taking care of some serious business. Even though it may have nothing to do with our journey. But never mind that. What brings you here?
I just finished a commission in the desert for a usual client of mine. Nothing too interesting. Just escorting a shipment of goods. I'm on my way to report back. That's when I saw you two all the way over there, chatting away. What were... Huh? You serious? Can't say I saw that coming. Bumping into you like this will become a rarity. Hey, how about I gather a few...
Thanks, but no need. Oh, Paimon had no clue you'd miss us so much.
Sounds good. All you need to do to get to Fontaine is cross this stretch of desert and navigate some waterways. Knowing you two. So, when are you leaving?
Oh, wait a sec. Paimon just remembered there are still a few
I see. Guess you won't be needing a going-away party or anything. It's sad enough to see you go like this. Though, now that I think about it, Sumeru wouldn't be what it is today without you. Seems true heroes always prefer leaving quietly.
By the way, should we go say bye to Nahita? Oh, good point.
Then, I guess this is goodbye for now, Traveler in Paimon. Whether as a client or a friend, you're always welcome to come find me.
Goodbye, Dia. Bye-bye, Sumeru. sand and water, we finally made it! Oh, this must be Fontaine's port. Wow, everything looks so advanced in Fontaine. Paimon's heard that the industry here is extremely developed, and there are all kinds of unusual... Just seeing the sights as a tourist is nice, but maybe it would be better if we found something to do. What do you think? Good idea! Nahida gave us loads of useful information. Seeking out the Seven is probably still our best source for information at this point. Yeah, the more we can learn, the better. So, what do you think the Hydro Archon's like? Will we get along? Nahida said that she has a very unique... To learn about a nation's god, start with the nation's people. There seems to be some locals talking over there. Let's go see if we can join the party.
If you ask me, it's a tragedy how things...
Yeah, I didn't expect that kind of ending for him. I thought he would at least fight on a little longer for his family. I was expecting a sudden plot twist, but it's a pity that it never...
Excuse me. Can I help you two? I couldn't help...
Hi. We're travelers.
Play? Oh, no. We're talking about something that really happened.
Really? Like, a real trial? But the...
Well, good tales are often based on true stories, aren't they? In what you've seen, whether something is true or not simply isn't that important. The main thing is whether the story being acted out on the stage is splendid enough. Oh, but it looks like you're not from around here. You probably don't know that the Fontaine Court of Justice is called the Opera Epiclese, or more common...
But, shouldn't court cases be treated a little more...
No worries. Other visitors to Fontaine have wondered the same thing. You could say that we just don't want... And as for your worries about whether the cases are treated with due reverence, we have the absolutely just and honorable chief, as well as the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, a machine created by the Archon. Between the machine and the Chief Justice, false charges and injustice are a thing of the past now.
Oratrice? Is it some kind of machine, too? Oh, Paimon, wait. Paimon almost forgot to ask...
Oh, that's easy. Just go to the Opera House. Lady Furina practically lives there. You could definitely say it's her biggest passion.
I think what they mean is that they wish to speak with the Archon personally. In that case, I'm afraid it's going to be a tad more difficult. You'll have to make an appointment well in advance.
Huh. Is the Hydro Archon super busy
No. Lady Furina seldom takes an interest with the nation's affairs. The reason it's difficult to make an appointment is simply because she's incredibly popular.
That's right. After all, she is the Archon. Though she may tend to get a little dramatic from time to time, people can't get enough of her.
Huh. First time Paimon's ever heard of an Archon being described that way before. Wait! Paimon gets now! The Hydro Archon is kinda like a big celebrity here, right?
Yeah, I suppose you could say that. Perhaps you could even say our mascot.
Hang on. This is still Fontaine's Archon you're talking about.
Yes, you're right. I guess I should at least try to be a little more respectful than...
Come on. Sure, there's a lot of laws here, but nobody's going to be arrested for saying something disrespectful.
All right, I think we get it. Thank you! At least we now know that we can find the Hydro Archon at the Opera House. But who knows how long making an appointment will take? Hey! What are you looking over there for? Huh. Maybe something's the matter. She isn't going to jump into the water, is she? Maybe we better go check on her.
Hey, how about we get some tickets?
I think we'd...
Hello there.
Huh?
Oh, okay then.
About many things, actually. I was just reminiscing about a place my brother and I would play when we were kids. It was just atop that hill over there. sea?
You're pointing at the sea.
No, people call the waters around Fontaine a sea. It's actually just an inland lake that's filled with fresh water. And no, I can still see that hill clearly in my memories. Now, it's been complete. He would skip and jump, tossing sand in the wind. But now, the water... it will...
Ah, I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting. Are you Lynette's new friends?
Oh!
Thanks for looking after my sister. She often comes here to reminisce about our childhood, that's all. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Linny, and this is my sister Lynette. If I had to guess, I'd say you must be travelers from abroad.
Nice to meet you! Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine. We were just talking with your sister.
I see. It's unusual for...
Oh, really? Then you two are just like us! Paimon's always the one talking for some reason. So that's how you think it is?
I also think my brother can be too talkative at times.
So, what did Lynette mean to...
Oh, that. Well, I suppose prophecy isn't exactly the right word, because that implies a certain amount of uncertainty. Where to begin? Let's put that question on hold for a moment.
Did all the introductions earlier not count?
Hello, traveler. And hello, Paimon.
Hey! Why didn't Paimon get a handshake?
Please, don't take offense. Just consider it a sort of etiquette.
Oh! No, by the way, we were just getting ready to go to the...
So you're going to see Lady Furina? No problem at all. In fact, I was planning to go to... Please, follow me. You said you were going to see Lady Furina? Well, it seems Lady Furina has come to see you.
So, she's the...
My dear people, rich and poor, those with cup in hand and those with nothing at all, raise your glasses in celebration. If you don't have one, then just raise your hand in lieu. As you can all see, two unfamiliar travelers have arrived in our nation. Come, let us make a toast in honor of this traveler and her companion who have journeyed here from distant lands.
Is she talking about us?
I've long heard of the turmoil and chaos you've left in your wake as you visited other nations. But fear is for insignificant cowards. I am a god, and I will never entertain the notion of such meaning. Of course, seeking an audience with me is the most sensible thing. I, Focalor, hereby welcome you to the nation of Hydro.
Yeah, Paimon still can't believe it. Feels like the Hydro Archon's entrance... Miss Hydro?
I see. As As Outlanders, you inevitably lack even some of the most basic understanding. Don't forget, you had best stop and consider. Do you really have the noble qualities and etiquette necessary to communicate?
Oh, talk about sounding high and mighty.
Oh? What's with these looks?
Is she waiting for us to start talking?
Wow, I didn't expect to see Lady Farina. Wait, does this mean they're the legendary blonde traveler?
Hey, what's all the commotion? Oh, is that Lady Farina?
Of course. That's the blonde traveler.
Ooh, I've got to see this.
Yes, but don't get too excited now. You may consider this my reward to all of you.
Now she wants to fight? Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves?
Are you not afraid? Might I remind you that this is a duel against the divine?
What are you trying to do, traveler? Provoking a god in front of her people?
Stand down, Clorend. I admire her bravery. Few have the courage. Unfortunately, people...
Oh, yeah, she's right. Just a duel wouldn't be all that...
On Araneus, criminals are always requesting duels to defend.
You see. Then...
Whoa.
Right. This is Fontaine.
Why do you care so much about the crowd's reaction? Besides, how exactly do you plan to have a duel in court?
According to Fontaine law, no one is permitted to release any flying objects within Fontaine city limits during the first 3 days of each month.
Oh, so that's what they've done wrong.
You call that obvious? What kind of law is that? Wait,
Precisely! Now,
My apologies, Lady Farina. I don't think that Paimon here meets the definition of a flying object.
you tell her, Linny! Finally,
great magician.
As a magician who... So, with such an audience gathered...
ta-da! What's that on Paimon's back? Hey, when did Linny do that?
There. As you can all clearly see, Paimon should be classified as, well...
Huh? You call...
Huh. I'm not sure what...
Amusing. Very amusing.
Performance?
In which case, consider the matter of your trial resolved. But when there are but even the gods of other lands, I look forward to seeing your upcoming performance at the
And just like that, she's gone! Well, that's the most unpredictable Archon Paimon's ever seen. You never even had a chance to ask her anything. But that's a problem for future Paimon. That whole scene just now was really...
Don't mention it. I just happened to remember that there was such a law, so I did... So, now...
She can be a bit confusing at times, but she is still amenable to reason.
Anyway, Paimon had no idea you were a magician, Linny. It sounded like you'll be performing at the Opera House, right?
I just know it will actually be my first time performing on the most prestigious stage in Font...
But isn't the Opera House where criminal
When there are no public trials being held, the Opera House hosts a variety of other performances. To the people of Fontaine, the line between a trial and a performance can be a little blurred. And speaking of performances, I would be remiss.
My brother's always excited to make.
Oh, sure. We don't really have any.
Splendid. In that case, why? You really mean it? This is a magical item known as a magic pocket.
Huh? What are they going to use it for?
About that. I'm not sure exactly when it began. It says that every person in Fontaine is born with sin. No matter how the Nation of Justice holds trial after trial, this sin cannot be absolved. Until one day, the water levels in Fontaine will rise, and the sinful people will In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
That sounds pretty gloomy. Why are people in Fontaine born with...
There are lots of guesses. Some say that the ancestors of Fontaine stole the power of the seas and stirred its wrath. Others say that the people of Fontaine never heeded the first Hydro Archon's warnings and offended Celestia. But here in Fontaine, evidence is what matters. There hasn't...
If even the people in Fontaine don't know what sin...
That's exactly what the people did at first. But in the last few years, the water levels in Fontaine have actually started...
Many places have already been completely submerged.
Many people carry on with their lives as before and shrug it off as a natural phenomenon. But my family and I think that the people of Fontaine shouldn't ignore the possibility. We hope that at least the people who reside near the waterfront can move away before it's too late. As a magical item, these magic pockets have a...
Oh! Paimon gets it! It's like preparing for a rainy...
Perhaps only absolute power could ever contend with such a catastrophe. Now, if you'd like to help, then please give these magic pockets...
So you're the blonde traveler. Oh, a magic pocket? Thanks. Please.
What's this?
What?
No, I believe in the prophecy. The story says that people once lived in the ocean. But as time wore on, people desired to live on land and developed blood vessels, encapsulating the sea within their bodies. So, if you ask me...
Oh, we hadn't heard that one before.
All right, I'll take it. I guess I just feel that being dissolved into the water doesn't necessarily...
Huh? I don't want that thing. Way I see it, if the prophecy's true, it's still gonna be a long time before the life is all about living in the moment. What use is there in worrying?
You should still take it. You never know.
Oh, all right, fine. Thanks. It's just that if I start moving...
Oh? You already handed out all of the magic pockets? That was fast. Yes, but that will change once disaster strikes. I know they'll change their minds, so it's only right to help them prepare.
Is there anything else you need to...
Yes, one last thing. I have the magic pockets made by a workshop in the...
So, you want to collect materials?
Oh, that would be much appreciated. Well...
It seems we have to collect for maritime flowers.
Wind Strider! Time to go. Time to go. The wind knows me. Time to go. You made quick work of that. I can tell you're an experienced traveler. Maybe next time you'll feel like...
No way. I'm in power-saving mode
Fine. Though the performance is still a long...
So, we're going to the court of Fontaine before we head to the Opera House? Good.
Wait, shh. Have you noticed that person over there? The young girl.
Huh? What's wrong?
She's... Magicians and thieves practice similar methods. We diverted... Watch her movements.
Oh, he's right!
Shh, keep your voice down. We need to think of a way to catch her, but it seems she's very alert. Perhaps you two can ride the lift over there and wait up top. I bet that'll be her... All right. Time to go. Into the wind. Time to go.
This is the spot where Linny wanted us to wait. Oh, look! Isn't that her? she notice us? What should we do? Should we chase her? You're right. She might Nothing's happened for a while now. Paimon wonders if Linny caught the thief. Yeah, what?
Are you sure that's all she took?
No, that was all. Anyway, I should...
Oh, were you returning what the thief had stolen?
That's right. Pity I wasn't able to catch her.
I saw the general direction she went.
Oh, did you...
I'll be all right. It's just a twisted ankle.
If you want to play at being a hero, at least try not to get hurt doing it.
You're right, you're right. I have to admit that, but at least we were able to get the stolen items back.
What a slippery little thief. Guess things turned out all right in the end, though. Linny's initiative paid off.
All right, let's put this little detour behind us. We...
So, we ride this thing to go into the city? What an ingenious way to get around. People...
This is an aquabus. It allows people to travel. It's pretty convenient, but the ride can become a little dull after...
So you mean it's still boring, even when I'm riding?
No, that's not what I meant. It's just... Besides, it doesn't really feel like a real trip.
Guess that's what it's like to be an older brother.
It's about time for us to leave. Let's get on...
Oh, excuse me. Aren't you the great magician, Linny?
Hello. I don't believe we've...
I'm Charlotte, a reporter for the Steambird.
Nice to meet you. From the Steambird, huh?
It's an honor to meet.
Wait, could that be the legendary traveler who's been making headline after headline in their... Amazing! I wouldn't be much of a reporter if I didn't know who's him. Wow, today must be my day. Who knew I would end up on the sixth? So, Charlotte, what do you usually report on? Well, when there isn't any breaking news, I mainly cover the trials at the Opera House. You can still manage to keep readers' attention as long as you tell things from a clever enough angle, even if it's the same. For example, reporting on how a scammer once deceived vulnerable girls into relationships, or how a financial criminal was once so poor that they ate a single piece of bread for 5 days. That's fine and all, but what I'm really after is exclusive, sensational news pieces that could shake the country. These smaller stories are a waste of my talents. Oh, I just remembered. I've been following a case lately.
You mean the serial disappearances of...
That's right! These stories are the talk of the town right now. If I'm the first with the draft ready to publish when the case is finally cracked... Oh, when that happens, I bet all the other reporters will shed... So, what is the serial disappearances of young women? That's right! The first missing girl case happened almost 20 years ago. And ever since, after a period of time, another girl disappears. But the scariest part is that many suspects have been arrested over the years in connection with this case. But shortly after each arrest, another disappearance would always happen. Yes, it's possible. But either way, I believe that every case has some precise truth behind...
Yes, I agree. And at the very least, the family of the... I just imagined for a second what I would do if Lynette were to suddenly disappear.
Please don't imagine that, Linny. Well, I really enjoyed chatting with you.
Yeah, us as well.
I have an interview to get to.
Okay, Paimon hopes we can...
Bye now. Oh, be sure to stop by and see me at the Steambird when you have...
What a tough job. Always running around and in...
If you don't mind, how about we stop by my home first? Besides,
Sure, we wouldn't mind at all.
Time to go.
this is our current abode. Ah, Fremine, you're home. Where...
Oh, they all just went out a moment ago.
I see. Everyone is getting busier now that Father will be returning soon. Allow me to introduce you to my little brother, Fremine. He is a phenomenal diver.
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler.
Linny, could you come here for a moment?
Hmm? What is it, Fremine? Do you have something to tell me? Okay, I see.
Is everything all right?
Oh, it's nothing. Oh, before I forget, the Traveler and I collect...
Yes, I went diving and gathered lots of material.
That's our Fremine. Always...
Looks like rain.
Oh, you're right. But wasn't it...
I'm afraid that's just how it is here. It often rains on days where there are trials being held in the Opera House, but...
What's wrong, Fremen?
There's a legend about the rain. It said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Though we don't know where the dragon went. When I was a child, my mother told me that if I want... Hydro Dragon! Hydro Dragon! Don't cry!
If it's an elemental dragon, then... Let Paimon try something. Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
Doesn't seem to be of any use. It is just a legend after all.
You know, you might be a more popular magician if you understood the concept of romantic...
Sorry. It might be because we've never met the Hydro... It rained for longer than I suspect.
Was there something you needed to do?
Yeah, some preparations for the show at the On the day of the performance, just ride the aquabus to the island of Araneus. I'll have Lynette meet you at the fountain in front...
Oh, are you leaving?
What is it, Fremine? I'm in a hurry. Perhaps we could trouble the Traveler to... I'm afraid that Fremine can be quite introverted. And the boss there...
No trouble at all! Don't worry!
Sorry for the inconvenience. I'm quite used...
Oh, no need!
I follow the wind.
Time to go. Time to go.
The wind knows me. One with nature.
Time to go.
Oh, hello there. New customers? Looking to buy, or do you need something made?
Oh no, we're just here to deliver some materials. Here they are.
Ah, these must be for Magic Pockets. I could tell. No need. They've already prepaid several batches worth. But they insisted on paying the full amount, saying that.
Whoa. So.
I can't say for sure.
Hey, is this machine what you?
Why use your hands when a machine can do the work? It would be a waste.
But where does a big machine like that?
But basically, everything we usually use here in the city is powered by indemnitium. It's a type of energy that's...
Huh? How can trials produce that?
Well, I'm not completely sure. When a trial is in session, the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale harvests people's belief in justice and converts it into energy to be...
So that's what its other function is? But... Paimon still doesn't get it. How could something unreliable like people's beliefs... Oh, yeah! So that means the Hydro Archon relies on the machine to take...
Even though I've never heard anyone really put it that way before, it sounds like it makes sense. Besides indemnitium, we have another type of energy called pneumosia. It isn't produced by the power of the Archon, but it is unstable by nature.
I thought I'd find you hard at work, but here you are chatting the day away.
You again? Didn't I already promise you that I'd have the
Yeah, but how do we know that you won't go running off by the end of this month?
Huh?
Seems business isn't so great for the workshop. We've already finished our job and delivered...
Hey, hold on. Before you go around trying to collect payments, why don't you settle your own debts first? If Confrérie of Cabriere wants to poach clients from Northland Bank, that's fine. But I'm afraid you still owe the bank a hefty sum of mora. So why don't we work things out between...
You're from Northland Bank.
Traveler, Paimon! I didn't think I'd run into you here in Fontaine. What are the chances?
We're surprised to see you too! What are you doing here in Fontaine? You didn't want to stay in Snezhnaya?
Long story short, I've already been in Fontaine for some time now. But it seems that fate brought our paths together today. Not only will I have some good friends here now, but ones who always seem to... Either way you look at it, It seems.
Pretty sure we'd want to avoid anything that you'd find interesting. Besides, our trip.
Hey, you!
Don't interrupt. It's not often I run into the traveler like this.
You kidding? Aren't you the one looking for— Listen to me, boy. If you want Chamora, fine. Why don't you come and take it?
Hey, I just said not to interrupt. Oh, by the way, traveler, the last time I took Tonya and Tusser ice fishing, Tusser said,
Hey! That's way over the line! All right, boys!
Can you at least let me finish one sentence? Fine. Though the bank told me not to get rough with our client, you're the ones who started it. This is an act of self-defense. You two will have to be my witnesses, okay?
I'm unsure this.
You can run, but you can't hide. You're mine.
What's your deal, Brad?
Oh, now you notice. Huh?
Now's my chance!
Huh. That was weird. I'm not sure. It's as if I suddenly lost—
Strange. How could that?
Never mind. It doesn't matter. If I want to stay sharp, I shouldn't be relying too much on my vision anyway.
So what are you doing in Fontaine, child?
Well, I get—
Huh? What kind of
I don't know, but recently, there seems to be—
Maybe you losing control.
That is a possibility. I can't remember if I ever mentioned it before. It was during that time I learned nearly all of my abilities. The one who took me under her wing and taught me, she was always quiet and very mysterious. Nobody knew where she came from or what she— One time, I asked her why she was because I had awakened it, and traces of it.
But what is it?
She never explained that. But my guess is that it's related to— In my dream, I was in the deepest depths of the sea, and the boundless seabed—
A whale? Oh, that sounds familiar!
That's just an abstract form of a whale that It takes that shape because the scene I dreamt of the whale has always been stuck in my mind.
So you used the whale as inspiration for one of your moves? Huh. So why don't you just—
You make it sound so easy. Ever since the incident I experienced there, I've never— But it's been years now, and I've still—
Oh, it's so—
Yeah, I'm out of leads at this point, but there's nothing more— Oh, seems the time really flies when I'm talking with you.
What? More work?
No, it's more of a personal appointment. Lately, I've been sparring with some of Fontaine's official champion duelists.
Official champion duelists?
Yep. In Fontaine, before a criminal goes to court, they're given one chance to defend their honor by requesting a duel with an official champion duelist. The champion duelists are all-powerful fighters selected from among the nation's best. And the duel itself is a no-holds-barred, so engaging in such a duel is regarded as a symbol of defending your honor. If a criminal manages to win the duel, they'll be acquitted. And the worst-case scenario is that though it's rumored that Fontaine has a death penalty, from what I can tell, no one has ever been officially sentenced to death. So really, the only people who opt to duel are those who have suffered a grave injustice in being accused, or those who greatly value their honor.
So, do many people actually get out of—
Apparently, it's exceedingly— Besides, none of the champion duelists are to be trifled with. Apparently, the one I'm meeting today, Clorend, is the strong—
Well, that's child for ya.
Oh, before I forget, I want you to have this.
Huh? Your vision?
I'm just worried that it could become uncontrollable again. I'd be pretty upset if it got in the— Besides, I just need you to hold on—
Paimon knows what you're up to.
Whatever gave—
That sneaky guy. Well, seems we don't have much to do for now. Wow, reporter who was barely around for most of the story was the murderer all along! Sorry. Paimon was just surprised, that's all. The whodunits here in Fontaine are a lot different than the light novels you see from Yai Publishing House. But it's so exciting to reach the moment when the mystery is uncovered, especially in the... Oh, sorry about... Hey. Lenny's son at the Opera House is on Araneas, so let's go ride the Aquabus!
Have anyone doing maintenance on this, statue?
Whoa! Now this is fancy! The opera epic. Huh. Looks like there's a lot of people standing around the
Oh, Archon. Please.
I don't know why you always feel the need to ask so much. I'll be happy as long as...
I guess if there are, kid.
Maybe this is one of the customs in Fontaine.
Vache.
What's wrong?
Vache. Vache.
No, Paimon didn't say anything.
Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine. All the water flowing through Fontaine converges here. It's customary for newlyweds to come here and wish for children. Lenny asked me...
Right.
What do you mean? There are...
Hey, you're not trying to scare Paimon, are you?
I see. In fact, you might not be imagining things at all. I suspect that what you heard is a result of your hypersensitivity to the hydro element. Others...
It's because of her sensitivity to the hydro element?
When do you cry?
Wait, what?
Just answer me.
When Paimon's really sad? Oh, and...
Then you should understand that tears contain your most intense emotions. Like I just mentioned, the Fountain of Lucine is where all the flowing water in Fontaine converge. So maybe what you heard was the intense emotion coming from someone's tears.
So, what did the voice say? Huh. If you were hearing...
Rather than worrying about them, don't let that calm look of his fool you. He tends to get...
Oh, right.
Traveler and Paimon. Good to see you. I knew—
Are you kidding? We wouldn't miss it for the world.
But you're actually right on time. The audience still hasn't started entering the venue yet, which means now is the perfect chance for us to take you to— The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations. I've already reserved your seats, and here—
Ooh, front row seat!
Don't mention it. There's no need to keep thanking—
Hey, Lenny! Could you come over here and take a look?
Oh, I'll be right there. Seems there's an issue with the stage props over there. That's Cal, my assistant.
Yeah, we'll just go to our seat. Oh, these should be our seats. Hey, Traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Since our— you little—
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt I would be perfectly happy to chat.
Oh, so, wait, that's not it, Paimon's. Sorry. Paimon's the one who was being rude, talking under her breath like that. Oh,
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend, I would be more—
Oh, so you're not friends with Linny, then. Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine.
It is an honor to meet you two. And as required by proper etiquette—
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact an honor for me to see your performance in person.
Wait.
Hmm? I saw you all chatting just now. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
Ooh, sorry for being so—
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. Nearly every person has their usual reserved seat, so I'm not so special, really. And by the way, I should probably let you know, even though I would prefer not to, there's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now. I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression. So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later, otherwise she may become flustered.
Huh? Oh, it's Furina, the Hydro Archon.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now—
Huh? So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please wait just a moment longer. I've pretty much finished my preparations and the
Yay! The show's finally about to start! But— Oh, they're dimming the lights! The show must be starting! Sorry.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epiclese. I am the star of today's show, Linny. And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give her a warm welcome.
Hello, everyone.
I know she may—
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness on the stage today. Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
Oh, good point.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Oh, and before I forget, there's one more thing. You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless. Huh? But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes. It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do. Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Uh-huh.
Whoa! What in the world just happened? Wasn't Lynette inside the water tank? How did she disappear and then
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still... To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage.
Guess you're right.
Thank you, everyone. But our magical journey has only just begun. The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen. I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. In which case, I have... So, for my next trick, I will require the... Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes. There are 2 boxes, and only 2 boxes. One is here, and one is there in the aisle among the audience. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already guessed our next magic trick. A swap! Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. After 1 minute, we will each emerge from the opposite box. Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here. Don't give me any—
Wow! Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks, or does Lenny have actual super—
The lucky audience member will be generated by— It selects numbers entirely at random. Even I don't know who will be chosen to participate. Now then, let's begin. Let me Row 7, seat 3. Congratulations! You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an entire minute. Please, come forward. My assistant will take you beside the magic box. I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible. You don't need to do anything, but no matter what strange things, if the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up? You might even find yourself in the Fortress of Meropide.
Oh, okay.
All right. Before I enter the magic box, there is one more thing like this. 60, 59, 58. Just keep counting down. You can go a little faster or slower if you like. I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be relying on your voices to know when time is up. Oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be in a tough spot.
Ooh! Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing him say that!
No, that won't do. I can see. Come on, repeat after me.
60! 59!
That's right, perfect. Keep it going.
54? 53? Why aren't you counting now?
I am counting in my head. I think merely a consequence of my identity.
Oh, alright. You looked so serious that Paimon thought you might be 40! 30!
Mr. Linney, are you...
Yes, I'm fine. It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong...
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all. What was that noise? Did you hear it too? Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't seem... 25!
What's wrong, Mr. Linney?
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration.
Never mind the decorations.
No, that's unacceptable. I will...
19!
It seems things aren't... It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know it can be tiring to do such a long... 10 seconds and change is...
10!
Almost there now. Whew. Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again.
7!
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5! 4! 3!
Whoops! That doesn't count!
0!
Ta-da!
What happened? Huh? Is this part of the... Mr. Laney, you're going...
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl...
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an...
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough. Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall on. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the... And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance. And there are many indications that it is connected with the case.
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
I know the truth. I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Linney, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearance.
Huh? Why me?
No, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? Now that I think about it, that whole speech...
That can't be right. He was in the box on the stage the entire time. But besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind...
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Furina, may I...
Huh? I just... But what Lady Furina said just now...
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover of a magic...
I mean, of course that's right. I mean you, Traveler. You'll support... But with Linney's help, our little duel, so no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser.
Huh? It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last time.
I understand. Well, Traveler, seems Lady Furina has set you in. Are you willing to act as Mr. Linney's attorney and defend? Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Linney and his troupe are all potential. The audience may begin to leave in an order.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big...
Linney!
Sorry about everything that happened.
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared?
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, good to hear. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered upon mysteries, such that all that's left... I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not. And I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate. As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible. Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Don't worry, Paimon used her own savings to buy...
I think they look cute on you, Paimon.
You have good taste, Lynette.
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed, but with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult for Lynette and I to prove our own innocence. Good thing you agreed to be our attorneys.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, just leave it to us. Oh, since we're going to start investigating,
Oh, well,
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Linny.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our... 'Tis truly a pity. As a magician, our magic show is a work of art. We've poured countless hours and spared no effort in perfecting it. But if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth, we should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks.
All right, let's go have a look while the investigation teams are still here. Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Furina mentioned. Listen, I'll be...
Huh?
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Linny's assistants, named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking, and the assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the... This is the real mystery. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to... If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally...
But he doesn't have a motive!
Are you both good friends?
Well, you can't...
So in just a short time, he was not... I know there's no such thing as magic. I've seen a lot of cases. And I can tell you that people are the least... Sorry, I tend to be. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you...
So this is the rope that broke and... The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks? Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler? Whoa. Look, most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. Huh. So if a rope... Wait, Paimon...
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troop members are current. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce. Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with the Magic Troop members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troop at all, which
Were the victims...
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women.
Okay.
No need to be so formal. It is of utmost importance that we...
The investigation team has some new findings.
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some...
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation.
You're trying to help them?
Linny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance. Well, we thought there might be a serious
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it's a trial or some... In other words, Linny knew...
That much checks out.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
I see that you're investigating the air. If you find any new and
We don't have too many thoughts yet. The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during...
Yes, exactly. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Linny's trick with bated breath. So no one paid it much mind. I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Linny's accomplice. And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope.
But wasn't the noise we heard...
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a... Oh, that's true.
That does remind Paimon...
Linny's still talking to the guards. I think someone will be assigned.
Hey, you! Yes, both of you.
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula? From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, and I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president. Though those who play by our rules call me Bob.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus, Demoiselle's various daily needs.
Huh?
Well, I am the...
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer Bob?
No need. You don't have to...
Okay, if you say...
All merely trifling details. No, that's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance case. Judging from the look of things...
Really? We think so, but... how do...
Intuition, naturally. Furina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny, but that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the Justice had to interrupt her and ask anyway. A trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And...
Sounds more like you...
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that... All right, I've answered your...
Wait a minute! Did that answer
Well, I say it does. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's...
Well...
And why would that be?
Most astute of you, Demoiselle. No matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, then if that can be done, boss.
All right, that's quite enough. Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation shall commence.
Wait! Since when did we become...
Oh, well, I can be the assistant.
That's more like it.
Far be it from me to brag, but you wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we...
You have a point. And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
I have nothing to add.
Oh.
We'll be making some preparations first.
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit.
No, we're not leaving. Were you always guarding this entrance?
Yes. After the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in, so the missing girl couldn't have left for... I doubt there was much...
How can you be so...
Well, because I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, but still, I did not abandon my post. And I stayed put no matter how loud the applause. We Melazines are...
So, it's safe to say the girl... All right, thank you for your help. We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. My mom wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh? We're about to see how magic is made.
Speaking of that, I think magic shows would be very popular in Poisson.
I can see that. Maybe I should try to learn some magic. If I...
You need not worry about such things.
Oh.
Understood. Then I will be going with you.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable.
You may spare the pleasantries.
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Ros... Sorry, I got a... And these are my companions. Would you mind if they...
Oh, new helper?
Well, let's just say we're tagging along.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the method. It's used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there...
Ah, good eye. That said...
the back? You mean the inside of the door?
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able... The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get? Exactly.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
I knew you'd figure out. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances. See this flat? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be...
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the...
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience member was put inside and be moved along the trolley, all while the outer box would remain on...
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here, with which it would complete the rest of the steps. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out...
Right! You were talking that whole...
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated... My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh!
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And, by the way, I was the one who walked out of the box at the end.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who. And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
So that's how it all worked! Wow.
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area, and the trick would be... But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our
We really don't know how...
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing... And yet, to think that... Could we have a look around?
This is the scene of the crime. So Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now.
Thanks, everyone.
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh?
Perhaps it was a prop for...
Whatever it is.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which... Wow.
Oh! Paimon knows! It's one of those... And here's a broken vase!
That can't... Oh, these are the clothes... Her clothes are here, but she...
Right! And... Ugh, this is so... What is this place?
It seems someone could fit through here.
Huh.
Alone, perhaps. But
there are no other ways in or out of here. Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that down. Seems we're just about done investigating down here.
Yes, let's head back up. Well, we've ascertained the state of the... Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns.
apologies for the wait.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape?
They believe the odds of that are... The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left.
So the tunnel's become like a secret chamber then.
The plot thickens. Halsey's disappearance and Cowell's death are both quite inexplicable. No wonder Furina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld.
Charges and then
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. During the proceedings, the Chief Justice and the Oratrice will hear... That's right. This is how the statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys. To put it simply, it's as if the Oratrice...
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. Not that this has ever happened.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final... Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted...
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually...
In practice, there is very little difference. Both have always come to the same judgment. Which is why people have great faith in the Chief Justice. Ah, yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed...
Huh?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxy.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties. Or that we... And even if that were not so, it could prove problematic if we happen to spread key information about the case ahead of time.
I'm ready to break out.
Whoa, whoa! There's no need for that! Paimon thinks they have a point.
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the lack of options. I'm afraid that catering to all tastes is not in the cards, nor is any guarantee of balanced nutrition.
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweet...
Huh. Breaking out suddenly to... Just kidding! Just kidding! Paimon was...
What do you mean, no snacks?
Huh?
Understood, Demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove?
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the Demoiselle.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please.
These three are quite the interesting... And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was... From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process. But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging...
Paimon was just thinking.
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play. Don't underestimate beating egg weights, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to be... Anyway, give these a try. Fresh out of the oven.
Only 3?
Well, eating too many sweet treats might send all the...
Tea is ready to be served as well. This is Demoiselle's favorite. Strong black tea with a floral fragrance that clears the... No need for concern.
All right, then. Down to business. As Paimon mentioned, however, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course, but they lack any logical motive.
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone...
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd...
Paimon thinks that makes sense.
True. But The only people left to consider are both technically...
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props in order to murder Cowl before making her escape?
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire... Nor does she have any motive. The
From the sound of things, your macarons are amazing, though.
They are my...
What? 5?
Please don't worry about it. At my age...
No. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough. Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they...
All right, we get it. Well, Malus, set up the stove.
Huh?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons.
Exactly. We don't want to...
As you wish, demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almond.
Well, this really is your hobby, huh?
Well, that's it for snack time. I don't know what we're looking for yet. It would be awkward if you...
All right, thanks for your help.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
It's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial. Oh, it's probably gonna be a long and difficult case. There's no point in worrying about that now. We just need to prepare. Here, take Paimon's notes. They should help you review the situation.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least besides, I doubt Farina understood.
Thanks, Navia.
Best of luck to you.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did your
To be honest?
No.
Well, now, don't you all look disappointed. That was to be expected, of course. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed.
Since both parties are present, firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus...
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecutor...
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Hall.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside your box?
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might leave an impression of any kind?
No.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a thud.
Huh?
Hey, hang up.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise.
I was right by the box and
Look at those scales.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are— Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
No wonder they did something.
So the serial disappearances were the
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage...
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless you... The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems...
Hey, Linny!
Order! First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you are these claims... Please answer.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well.
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary? They're already as...
The defendant deceived their own attorney.
Order! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn.
So you would stick to me. In that case, my...
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We based our entire reasoning on that to set the wrong tone or...
I'm very sorry. I know you've clashed with the Vatui several times before, but our organization is very...
Right now, we want to save people.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page. I knew if it weren't for our respective identity, that's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending... Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, you met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade, but still, I'm asking you to trust me.
Sorry. Please.
Well, you both say that, but... Right. Let's hear...
Of course. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. During our investigations, we learned that from that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing...
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 6. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core...
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. Which should have been impossible, of course. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. On the way back, I saw the broken vase in the clothes. After that,
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course.
That's the only way we can save...
So, there you have it. It was never my wish to but like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the...
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay,
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need us, huh?
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady FURINAAAAAA as fact. Therefore, Lady FURINAAAAAA may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long at this stage. Let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective. Countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which he did not realize that the sound could be heard by everyone in the opera. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out before making her change. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, so Linney proceeded to knock him out too. Afterward, Linney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the mat. And there you have it. That's the
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady FURINAAAAA's description of the events?
The key to refuting Lady FURINAAAAAA is the order of events. What Linney experienced and what he saw. According to Linney, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. Linney went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. Linney did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the countdown started, Linney did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view.
In other words, you believe that he—
That's right!
My reasoning?
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell him! Well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims? Of course I do. You're saying that he wasn't.
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? That's right! Lenny wasn't in the box! This means that when the same clue you used to
To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Lenny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Could there have been a third person involved? Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. The deceased's name is Cowell. Could there have been a third person in... The deceased's name is Cowell.
Huh? That can't be right.
Oh, is that...
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim. It would have been tough for both people to... The sound we heard may have come from a... Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our... The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing... No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. The sound we heard may have come from... The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's... Lenny was not in the tunnel at that... The deceased's name is Cowell, It would have been tough for both people to fit in... Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. So... The sound we heard may have come... No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that... The sound we heard may have come from... Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. So, there... one entered or left the opera house. It would have been tough for both people to... No one entered or left the opera... It would have been tough for both people...
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having...
Look, since we're at a dead end, just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly
If only we knew how...
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has... And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear.
Excuse my interruption, dear.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able to... The vase was not broken by chance. It was used to cover important...
Paimon gets it! Lynette escaped from the water tank vent. If there's a
How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is... Must we really... Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and...
Even so, the truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case...
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end...
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the person...
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are... water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword, one of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that, as such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding!
Could something so ridiculous...
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy.
If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a meat? Just a minute. Could that mean...
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination... Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic. Guards, please continue examining the items of Mr. Linney. It appears your hypothesis...
Of course. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's...
Right! Like the metal hook! Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water...
The deceased's name is Cowell. Lynette was in the magic box on stage. I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box. Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick. The water from the primordial sea should already... Lynette was in the magic box on stage. I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box. The rope that strung the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and cut. As such, the focus here is on the water and not the tank. Lynette was in the magic box. I remember there was something...
Ahem! It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowl would tamper with the water tank rope and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel and wound up being fatally hit by the same...
Huh. That does make...
That actually links together.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice.
On that note, the guards have just... I shall now invite him on stage.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case. And we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea.
What?
That can't be. Does this not click? My dear citizens, my loyal audience, allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift close. Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Indeed, he did leave the scene via the vent. Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowl then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, ultimately, he knocked Cowl out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward... Am I right, Mr. Linny?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no way for us to make a rebuttal here. Is this the end of the rope?
Oh no! Seems using the water...
I think we've all seen... I believe this is indeed the... Now then, my good.
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you...
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your What in the...
No offense, miss, but...
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about... But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick come on, Linny and Lynette? But as the magic makers and stars of the show,
I understand.
And voila.
Sorry.
Wait, isn't that Halsey?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person... I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings, but I was just feeling happy that no one had... That'll teach... Where should I begin? Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff, but I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty...
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but he even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason. I wasn't going to take that line. There was nowhere to run from there, though. So I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that Had I known that, I wouldn't have...
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't...
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lillian's perspective. Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left. The flower vase was not broken to cover anything. The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lillian.
Selected out of the blue, her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowl leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket. Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lillian back. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but with no way of escaping, she changed her clothes. That she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she...
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have
now... so that...
Rather...
Now then, Lady Furina. Please answer the question, Lady Furina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What are you... No, I have no further argument.
Wow! Look at that!
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of the actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermark. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to set. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian, thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the... From this reconstruction of events...
Hooray, Linny and Lynette!
While there is much in Linny and Lillian's this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision. As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Great work. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's...
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake.
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's... I'm sure you know what you must...
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to...
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been... Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you...
Yes! Our boss discovered that it can also be made into a potion, which when extremely... We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean...
What?
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness.
An outrage. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
So, we're just going back now? That's...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
Linny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe, but still. Let me thank you again for defending me to the end, I guess. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth aligned. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
A knave? The one who controlled...
That's right. And since we're here, back when our parents first died, to survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would. Before long, an aristocrat came to me.
So you went from orphan...
That was how we felt at first, too. But I gradually discovered that while we were called, he would constantly take me to all sorts of
That doesn't seem too bad.
After one particular performance at a banquet, I waited a long time after we were. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet.
Oh no.
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to a. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent. All I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood.
So.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a base. Father, I mean, the knave, might have. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with that. I was hesitant to trust her, but she was also quick to destroy the note.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the house?
She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis's power when she obtains it.
So, she believes.
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water. Everyone at Hotel Bouffe d'été, including the knave, has their roots in Fontaine. And we will always defend our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge.
It's all right. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find.
Bye, Linny!
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us now?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial. Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should.
Ah, I see. Well, sorry.
Don't say that, Navi.
Aw, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire. Sorry. Wait, shall we have a farewell?
Huh? Do we really need...
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your...
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm if Boss Navi is treating...
Oh, wonderful. In that case, why don't we return...
All right, then. Let's have our...